Bring these up. We'll come back. So that's our pattern, type, and moon phase. They're just simple. You're reading the two and you're making the associations and seeing how they reinforce or contradict each other. Here, they're both accentuating the moon, but with the pattern, with the full moon, waning full moon, there's still a pull of follow the feelings. Oh, got to get back to the moment. The past and the future are fighting. You get this contradiction between the two. Okay, so now we got the puzzle around the moon, but the next step we have to look at is the sun, moon, and the ascendant. Again, these are things, just look at 1, 2, 3, and just click in to get our starting point to relate to the person. Now, so the sun is in Virgo, the moon is in Aries, and you have a Capricorn rising. Okay, so the interesting thing from this is you get the sense of, first thing you think there's three points Earth, 2 for the sun, 1 for the ascendant, 3 points Earth, 2 points for the moon and Aries. And you're getting the impulse of this, the fire, and the earth. It's practical and active, practical. You're not getting emotional. You're not getting strong emotional factors here. You guess it's someone who's going to be more controlling and more controlled and more down to earth than that. Identify the plan, try and perfect it, then go for it. Go for the plan, try and perfect it as you go. Maintain discipline. So, okay, daylight increase, night increasing, daylight decreasing, night get no big extreme there. It's the fire, earth, the fire and the earth element. It's cardinal and mutable. So they have the sun's the mutable, the ascendant and the moon are cardinal. They're both pushy. So you have pushy, assertive, and adaptable, or manipulative, receptive, manipulative. So you see these driving and adapting, but not determined, not consistent, not fixed. They don't see the stubborn side here in this factor. So you're going to run into this person and things will happen and they'll adjust or they'll change. It's going to be easy for the person to drive, hard for them to be consistent. Okay, anything else stand out? No, I just think, basically you think fire, daylight greater, night greater, daylight increase, night increase. If they pile up all on one side of that, it stands out. Then you're looking at masculine, feminine, in this case it's 3 to 2. If you're looking at cardinal, you got 3 to 2. If you look at 3 and 2 fixed, 2 mutable and no fixed. If you're looking at the earth, 3 earth, 2 water, 2 fire, no water, no air here. So again, you get the sense of sort of practical thinking, this analytical, but not necessarily the most expressive, but active. Okay, now someone has that, you're seeing that. Now, what have they done with that in their life? Where is it going to go from here? But you're getting a sense how that person is similar to you, not similar to you, how you react to it. You're getting a kind of feeling of how close or not close you might feel to this person, or if you've met people like this or whatever, you just get a sense of it. That's all I want to get from the sun, moon, and ascendant. But this practical side, the earth, practicality, fits into the pattern type of being really practical, trying to fix what's missing. Okay, and following the instincts to do that. But her instincts is the moon and Aries, which is going to be impulse to, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do it, I'll take care of this. Let me do that for you. Okay, so even though it's the moon, it's not the most gushiest emotional moon. Okay, we're going to get to that later. But this is just the first 3 points, and they're a good general factor. If you don't have someone's time, you don't have the ascendant or the houses, you get the pattern type, the moon phase, and the sun and moon. You still got a couple of things to work out that starts putting these packages together, how they work with the pattern type and the moon phase. That's it. That's no required. You don't have to, oh, is this good enough? Not good. No, you're just making the associations. If something's there, it'll stand out. If it's not, it fades away. It's not worth thinking about it. Just let it be. Okay. Now we get into the point. We're going to go into the point systems, and we're going to do the next few points. Okay, we'll just pull it, we'll leave it. I just lose everything. Okay, hang on. Pull these out again. Oh, I don't know how that happens. No, not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one. Okay, so we're just going to pull the natal chart back up, and we got the 2 pattern, moon phase 1 signs. Okay, we're going to pull out the. I'll just leave this here. Get back to this. We need it. Okay, so the see the chart. We're looking at it. We want to see the rearrange my chart and rearrange the screen so I can see it. Okay. Okay, here we go. I have to do it like this because the far side of my screen, you see the whole screen, but I have the menu and a piece of my screen being taken up by the webinar, webinar controls. So, okay, now, okay. So even on the points, you can go right to the point sheets because you got room for the locomotive moon handle, the waning full moon phase. You got the Virgo, Aries, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Then when we look at the points, see 3 points in Aries, I am. 1 point in Gemini, I think. 1 point Cancer, I feel. 4 points in Virgo, I analyze. 2 points in Libra, I balance. 1 I desire in Scorpio. 1 I understand in Sag. 1 I use in Capricorn. So really, I analyze, and I am analyzing. And those are the 2 keywords. Just when you see the keywords, like saying that those keywords, they're really pointing to the rulerships. The Mars, I am. The Mercury, I analyze. But those keywords will be very easy to use when you're talking to people. Who are you? What are you doing? Are you analyzing? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? You'll be able to see the analytical side. Okay, that's simple. I used to do that. It's just as a last thought, but because when the enter the point totals in, you got it right there. I just put it right there. So then we see daylight increasing, darkness increasing. So we have this practical locomotive type, instinctively moving and filling what's needs, and to try and be practical, and trying to belong a bit more, feeling not quite so independent from the moon phase. Okay. Now, there's 9 points darkness increasing, 5 points daylight increasing. So her nature by nature is to belong more, to be involved, to be responsible, to take on commitments. That's the darkness increasing. That fits in with the pattern type. Really, it's like I'm moving to fix things. I want to make things practical. I'll do this for you. I'll commit this for you. Let me have your baby. You need it. You know, let's buy a house. Let's do it. It's going to move in that direction of things. It's going to impulsively move to take on commitments, darkness increasing. Impulsively, that moon in Aries is moving into to be more fulfilled and to be secure. One has to feel one's becoming more meaningful to others or to someone else. But then you have the daylight is greater, darkness is greater, 9 points daylight is greater, 5 points darkness is greater. So we don't have the person, but it's a good exercise to make this chart, the symbol, come alive with experiential realities, and you still see the differences from other charts you do. It's still not a boring thing to do. So daylight is greater is 9, darkness is greater is 5. So even though she's moving to be more involved, she's still got to do it her way. Or his, I'm not sure, I'll just say her. I think most girls in the class. Okay, so the daylight is greater. I'm doing it my way. I've got to, here's what I'm doing, but I'm doing it for you. Now let me do this for you. Let me do this for you. You have the strong sense of the daylight being my way, daylight and greater. It's not extreme, but it's noticeable. And in me doing this, I'm doing this for you. It's not we're doing this. I am doing this for you. Simple. But when you start looking at behavior patterns and when things are being done, you start looking at experience, you'll see this. Okay. Winter 1, spring 4, summer 5, autumn 4. So most of that whole part of the locomotive pattern is filled in spring 7. It's the winter that's the not so active time. And then, okay, so then cardinal fixed mutable, 7 cardinal, 1 fixed, 6 mutable. It repeats the pattern that we saw kind of with the sun, moon, and ascendant. 7 cardinal, very driving. That pulls in the ascendant and the moon and Aries. It's driving, it's assertive, and yet driving. And okay, so it can start things, but may not finish things. I want to fix this for you. I want to do this for you. I mean, it's pushing to fill a need and to be practical, fill what's missing, but it's driving. And then as it starts something, it'll adapt to something else. So you get the sense maybe not finishing things. That's there with the Aries moon starting, not stopping, not finishing. But here you really see the cardinal and the adaptable move it and start something else. There can be too many things going on and having to adapt, but not enough consistency. That's a unique type of person. Okay, who's driving to do things and adapting? So I'm driving to prove this to you, but I also got to do this for so-and-so and for so-and-so, and so I got to see them too. Oh, this is happening over there. So there's, you get the sense of the drive forward, but you also get the sense of dissipation of that waning full moon phase. But there's so many other things I have to take care of. There's this too and this too. So you get the sense almost an overdoer. I can't say overachiever because it's not sure how much gets finished. But a very capable person. When you look at the elements, fire, 4, 3 air, 5 earth, 2 water. So 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a fairly even spread, except the water again stands out as the weakest. Not that much sympathy. It's interesting, the moon leads, the moon's strong. It's in Aries, it's in action, it's sympathetic, it's sensitive, intuitive to action, but it's not emotional. If anything, it would be volatile emotions. But here, the water is not accentuated, so not going to have the most sympathetic or compassionate person. That's enough. That's the one thing that stands out. But you're going to see a very practical front. You got to do this, you got to do this. It's going to be a practical side of things. Okay, so being emotional would not seem practical. Masculine and feminine, projective, reflective, balanced, 7-7. When we look at the rulerships, there's nothing in Leo, so the sun doesn't have any rule, doesn't rule anything. The moon, there's only Saturn in Cancer, so the moon rules the Saturn. Mercury is in Virgo, but it rules the sun, 2 points, Venus and itself, 4 points, and it rules the Mars and Gemini. So the Mercury is ruling 5 points. So this is the strongest planet. So if you're thinking right, if she's studying right, if she's thinking right, if she's listening right, if she's properly alert, the planets will work well. As soon as something takes away her attention, it's going to start affecting her action, her choices, is going to start affecting a lot of factors in her chart. So her mental state becomes very important. Having a right relationship to Mercury. Venus is 2. So that's accentuated. It's not as strong as Mars is 4. So doing is again much more than receiving. It's more important. I'm doing something for you. I'm making something happen. I'm doing this. And I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. I got to think, well, I'm going to do this. Should I do it this way, that way? You have the analytical Mercury and Virgo with all the planets it rules, so the adjusting and perfecting the actions.